Hello everyone, this is Saivika Sanchumalla, and I'm going to discuss about the project which I have done in my very first semester at Southeast Missouri State University in the course Distributed Cloud Computing under the Professor Ziaming Lu. And the project title is Approach to Attribute-Based Encryption for Cloud Storage, Sharing, and Retrieval of Encrypted Data. And the abstract is almost everyday business closes and the economy suffers as a result. As a consequences, technology is crucial in every business. So cloud computing has been crucial in supporting firms in eliminating inefficiencies and expanding the procedures. And it must be modernized and mechanized because the cloud computing may help business save money on unnecessary procedural, administrative, hardware, and software costs. So, while there are benefits to cloud computing, this does not negate the fact that it has problems. So, cloud security and cloud attacks have emerged as key concerns. And this research will look at the advantages and disadvantages of cloud biographical computing in the corporate world. So, the motivation of this project is the cloud computing is gaining popularity as a popular and promising technology, and many firms have begun to use cloud computing into their daily operations. So, we thought of like create a project that organizations must execute strategic principles to get a competitive advantage, and the business should choose cloud services with adequate security to prevent having the data stolen. So when it comes to the development part, this is the system design. So in at the initial stage, we have created the different ones logins, the AA cloud and the data provided and the user. So there are different platforms for the user and the cloud and the data provider and the AA. So in each you can see the next steps. So the system requirement, so the system design document describes the system requirements, operating environment, system and the subsystem architecture, files and the database designs and all. So and here we present an attribute based storage system which employs ciphertext policy, attribute based encryption, and supports secure deduplication. Our main contributions can be summarized as follows. So firstly, the system is the first that achieves the standard notion of semantic security for data confidentiality in attribute based duplication systems by resorting to the hybrid cloud architecture. And secondly, we put forth of methodology to modify a ciphertext over one access policy into ciphertext of the same plain text but under any other access policies without revealing the underlying plain text. And when it comes to the design, we do have the logical design and the physical design. In the logical, the context of system design are included, and it includes the ER diagram, which is entity relationships diagram. So, and when it comes to the physical design relates to the actual input and the output process of the system that is laid down in terms of how data is input into the system, how it is verified, authorized, or how it is proceeded, and how it is displayed as output. So the objectives of the project is the so it is achieved by creating user-friendly screens for the data entry to handle large volumes of data. And the goal of designing input is to take data entry easier and it would be free from errors. So it also provides a record viewing facilities and when it comes to the output design. So in any system result of processing are communicated to the users and to other systems through outputs. And in output design, it is determined how the information is to be displayed for immediate need, and also the hard copy output. And efficient and intelligent output design improves the system's architecture. And here is the project main page for I mean the and I'm going ahead. So here you can see there's different login links for data provider, cloud, user, and the AA. So when it comes to the AA, here is the here when we click on A, it redirects to this page where we have the login page, and then the view users. What are all the users who is using the same cloud, the users data, and the data providers details, and public cloud files. When the data providers shares their public cloud file, which can be accessible by any user, it will be located for the AA attribute authorizer. And user attribute verify, where the it is a private file which has to be authorized by the AA. And then the logout. And here is the cloud login page. So here the same cloud has the login and the public cloud and the private cloud where the files were stored, and then the users and the data provider details, and then the logout. So these are the attributes which we have in the cloud login, and this is the user login. So user can see the register part where the users can freshly register to their accounts. And then the view cloud files, where user can look at the files which was in cloud, and then the download files option where the user can download their files, and then the logout. And this is the data provider page, which they have the register file upload, key generation, and this key was generated to the email, so it was secured. And then the files uploaded to the cloud, and the upload files, and then the logout. So where the data provider can upload the cloud files to the cloud, and that's all. So here is the code which we have used. I mean the pseudocode kind of, and this is the first few things. And then the integration and testing. So the main testing objectives are the to uncover a host of errors and systematically and with minimum effort and time. So in this we made 4 tests. So first one, a successful test is one that uncovers an undiscovered error, and a test case is one of that has a probability of finding an error if exists, and then the test is inadequate to detect possibility of present errors. So and the levels of testing which we have performed is code testing. First one, for example, the logic for updating various sample data, and when the sample files and directories were tested and verified. So in this code testing, we have tested using the uploading the files from the data provider, and we made different IDs for the data provider, user, and then the of course there will be only one user for the AA. So we made different user logins, I mean user IDs, and we have tested by uploading the files and downloading the files from the user, and authorizing the files from the AA. And specification testing, which executing this specialization, starting that the what the program should do and how it should perform under various conditions. And then the unit testing. So we test each module individually and integrate with the overall system, and the modules of the system is tested separately. And the black box testing, white box testing. So the code which was generated, the output, here is the code uh, screenshot. So here you say the attribute based one. So username, I have made it like A is the username, and then the email ID chotu@gmail.com, and and the password is 123. So that's what we gave the initial input, and then we created the test cases, and then the execution. Here is the code for that, and here is the implementation, I mean the deployment diagram. Here we can see the cloud and then the web server, and it was connected to the application server, and where it got connected with the terminal and the database server. So whenever the user try to access the file from the data provider, this all things comes to place. And the implementation modules are user module, data provider, private cloud, public cloud, and then the attribute authority. So here is the cloud login. As I said earlier, we can logging into the cloud with the private cloud or public cloud with the user ID and the password, and then the private cloud, and this is the public cloud. In the public cloud, we just gave like the sample inputs for a sample file name, and then the email ID and the policies. And here is the user page view data providers. So in this page we can able to access the what are all the data providers we have in the cloud. And then the user login, this is the login page for the user. And here is the uh, thing which the user can be accessible to the cloud files and the download files. So in the cloud files, we it shows what are all the files which are on the cloud, and then the download files, which the files which are already downloaded and send it to the mail. And then the key verification, this is the mm, this is the part which you have worked hard on, where the key verification is when we try to download the file to the email ID. It first generates the security key, so file name and then the description key. So description key was sent to the email, and the description key has to be copy and paste here as the description key to get it downloaded to I mean, this is for the security purpose. And here is the AA login, and then he can see view users, and verify, and the data provider login is here. And then the data provider can upload a file, and the key generation where it comes to their email, and files, he can upload the files to the cloud, and here are the uploaded files which they have done all previously. So evolution and future work is in this software engineering, a class diagram in the unified modeling language. UML diagram is a type of static structure diagram that describes the structure of a system by showing the system's classes and their attributes, operations, and the relationships among the classes. So it explains which the class contains information, and here are the executions which we have done, and the conclusion is future work. So ABE has been widely used in cloud computing, where data providers outsource their encrypted data to the cloud and can share the data which with users processing specified credentials. So after receiving a storage request, the private cloud first checks the validity for the of the uploaded item through the attached proof. If the proof invalid, the private cloud runs a tag. So whenever it is necessary, it regenerates the ciphertext into ciphertext of the same plain text over an access policy, which is the union set of both access policies. So yeah, this is all about our project, and thank you so much.